alone on the streets, lost, hungry, and looking for shelter. But before he can find food, a strange man grabs him and takes him to a secret underground lab. This wasn't just any lab, it belonged to Dr. Barsinister, a mad but brilliant scientist, known around the city as Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil had one crazy dream: to turn normal dogs into super dogs, using his genetic experiments. Dogs so powerful, they wouldn't need training or humans at all. But the city's mayor shut his project down, calling it dangerous and unethical. Humiliated and furious, Dr. Evil swore revenge. He was determined to shock the entire city with his next experiment. His assistant Cad brings in the little beagle as the next test subject. Dr. Evil prepares his special serum, but before he can inject it, the frightened dog breaks free. He runs around in panic, knocking over shelves and chemical bottles, and accidentally spills the powerful serum all over himself. The liquid seeps into his skin, changing his DNA forever. Within seconds, strange powers start building inside him. Dr. Evil tries to catch the dog, but he's got no idea that this tiny beagle is now strong enough to smash through steel walls. The dog bursts through a 10-inch thick metal barrier, leaving the lab in flames behind him. In moments, the entire lab is destroyed. Now out on the streets again, the little dog is hungry and scared. He searches trash bins for food, but the area already belongs to 3 other street dogs. Not knowing about his new powers, he gets scared and runs away. As he's running, he crosses the road and suddenly gets hit by a car. The car belongs to Dan Unger, a former police officer who now works as a security guard. Dan rushes out, shocked to see that the dog isn't hurt at all. The beagle just sits there, looking up at him with the most innocent eyes. Dan smiles and says softly, "Well, aren't you a little miracle?" He decides to take the dog home, not realizing that his car now has a huge dent in it. At home, the dog sniffs Dan's shoes and licks them, as if he can already sense this man has a kind heart. Dan names him Shoeshine because, well, he keeps licking his shoes. Dan introduces Shoeshine to his son, Jack, but Jack isn't thrilled. Ever since his mom passed away, he's been upset with his dad for quitting his police job. Dan wanted to spend more time with his son, but his new job keeps him busier than ever. Jack feels lonely and disconnected, so when Dan leaves for work, Jack heads to school, and Shoeshine is left home, alone. The moment they're gone, Shoeshine smells something amazing: dog food. He jumps around searching and finally finds a box of canned food, but when he tries to open one, it explodes, and food splatters all over the walls. Shoeshine panics, thinking Dan will throw him out, so he starts cleaning the mess. Just then, a mailman shows up outside. Hearing the noise, Shoeshine peeks through the window and barks. The mailman mocks him, so Shoeshine barks louder, so loud that the window glass and even the mailman's glasses crack. The poor man runs away in fear. When Shoeshine turns around, he spots a tennis ball under the couch. He tries to fetch it, but accidentally lifts the entire couch off the floor. Moments later, Jack comes home, and he's stunned. The house looks like it's been robbed. Furious, he yells, "Who did this?" And suddenly, Shoeshine speaks in a soft, guilty voice. He says, "I'm sorry, it was an accident." Jack freezes. His eyes go wide. He can't believe what he just heard. Shoeshine looks equally shocked. He had no idea humans could understand him now. For a few seconds, they just stare at each other, then both scream at the same time. Later that evening, they sit together in the park. Jack asks, "Okay, how did you even get these powers?" "I don't know. There was this lab, some creepy humans, and a lot of glowing red and blue liquid. And after that, everything just changed." While Jack and Shoeshine are still talking in the park, Jack's friend Molly shows up with her adorable female dog Polly. The moment Shoeshine sees Polly, his tail starts wagging uncontrollably. He smiles and whispers to himself, "Whoa, is that Miss Universe or what?" While Molly chats with Jack, Shoeshine quietly sneaks over to Polly and starts talking to her. Of course, Polly has no idea he's a talking dog, so she just barks back politely. After a few minutes, Molly and Polly leave, and Jack decides to test Shoeshine's new powers. What happens next blows his mind. Shoeshine shows off super strength, super speed, and even super hearing. Jack can't believe what he's seeing. Suddenly, Shoeshine's ears perk up. He can hear something from miles away. It's Molly and Polly. They're screaming for help. "They're in danger," he shouts. "I have to go." Without wasting a second, he sprints down the street, and that's when he realizes he's not just fast, he can fly. Shoeshine leaps into the air, and for the first time in his life, he's flying. He crashes into a few things along the way, a billboard here, a lamppost there, but he still makes it just in time. Using his super speed, he defeats the robbers and saves Molly and Polly. Polly only sees a blur in the sky, a flying dog who came out of nowhere and saved them. By the time anyone looks back, Shoeshine's already gone. He quietly returns home, exhausted but proud. When Jack gets back from school, Shoeshine tells him everything, how he broke a few things again but saved the girls. Jack smiles and says, "You don't need to apologize, Shoeshine. You just saved Molly and Polly's lives." He promises, "I won't tell anyone about your powers. It'll be our secret." Together they fix the house, piece by piece, and their bond grows even stronger. Just then, there's a knock on the door. It's Cad, Dr. Evil's assistant. He's been searching everywhere for Shoeshine. Jack nervously says, I don't know what dog you're talking about. Cad gives him a suspicious look, but decides to leave for now. Later that evening, Dan returns home. He sees the messy house again and gets furious. Jack has no idea how to explain. How do you even tell your dad that your dog can talk and fly? From that day, Jack and Shoeshine spend almost all their time together. They become inseparable, a boy and his super-powered best friend. Whenever Shoeshine comes home after saving someone, Jack can't help but smile with pride. But one evening while they're watching the news, a breaking story catches their attention. A jewelry store is being robbed downtown. Without wasting a single second, Shoeshine jumps up, bursts out the door, and races through the city streets. With his super speed and unstoppable strength, he takes down the robbers one by one, and before anyone can even realize what happened, the mysterious flying dog disappears into the night. Jack decides to help Shoeshine keep his secret identity. He designs a superhero costume and a bright letter U on the chest. When Shoeshine wears it for the first time, he looks in the mirror, grins, and says, I'm not Shoeshine anymore, I'm Underdog. From that day on, the little dog starts helping people all across the city, stopping thieves, rescuing those in danger. Slowly, the whole city begins to know his name. Every newspaper, every TV channel, everyone's talking about the same hero, Underdog, the flying superhero. But far away, in the ruins of his lab, Dr. Evil is still alive and plotting his revenge. He tries to create another superdog using his serum, but every single experiment fails. Frustrated, he yells at Cad, I need his DNA, no matter what it takes. Cad bows and replies, yes, doctor. To get Underdog's DNA, Cad comes up with a plan. He disguises himself as an old lady and pretends to fall from a tall building. When Shoeshine sees a helpless old woman in danger, his heart melts instantly. Don't worry, ma'am, I've got you, he shouts, flying down to rescue her. But as soon as he catches her, he realizes something's wrong. That's no old lady, it's Cad. Shoeshine tries to break free, but Cad grabs his collar tight. They tumble and slide across the street, tearing clothes, knocking over trash cans, but Cad refuses to let go. After a fierce struggle, Shoeshine finally slips out of the collar and escapes. Cad clutches the collar in victory and rushes it straight to Dr. Evil. The tag on the collar gives away Shoeshine's location. Meanwhile at home, Jack notices the missing collar. Hey, where's your collar? Shoeshine shrugs. Hey, must have fallen off somewhere. Later that day, Shoeshine runs into Polly again. She's still obsessed with the mysterious flying dog. Not realizing it's him, she sighs. I wish Underdog would meet me someday. Shoeshine grins and says, call for him and he'll come. That night, Polly gazes up at the stars and whispers, Underdog, where are you? A split second later, a streak of red and blue flashes through the clouds. Shoeshine lands in his full superhero costume. Polly stares, wide-eyed, speechless. The two spend the night flying, talking, and laughing. For Shoeshine, it's the happiest night of his life. The next morning, Jack and Shoeshine head to Molly's house to visit. But at that very moment, Dr. Evil and Cad break into Jack's home. They tie up Jack's dad, Dan, and threaten him. Call Underdog, Dr. Evil commands. Dan, still unaware that Shoeshine is Underdog, shouts for help. Hearing his owner in danger, Shoeshine's ears twitch, and without a second thought, he grabs Jack and takes off into the sky. Within seconds, they arrive at the house, but Dr. Evil is ready. He traps both Jack and Dan, then sneers, if you want them alive, you'll give me your DNA. To save his family, Shoeshine agrees. Dr. Evil drains his energy into glowing blue pills, then forces him to swallow red pills that lock away all his powers. Shoeshine is left weak, just an ordinary dog again. Dr. Evil feeds the blue pills to 3 of his own dogs, turning them into vicious super dogs. Now his goal is clear, revenge on the mayor and total control of the city. He and Cad leave, taking their new monsters with them. Behind them remain Jack, Dan, and a powerless Shoeshine. Jack and Dan manage to break free from their ropes. They grab a vial of red antidote pills and escape with Shoeshine. Meanwhile, Dr. Evil storms the town hall with Cad and his super dogs. His plan? Plant a bomb on the roof that will spread his serum across the city, turning every citizen into his mind-controlled servant. By coincidence, Molly and Polly arrive nearby, and Cad captures them too, tying them up as hostages. Soon, Jack, Dan, and Shoeshine reach town hall, but by then, Dr. Evil has full control of the building. Citizens gather outside, shouting for their hero, Underdog, Underdog. Shoeshine looks down at the city he loves. He has no powers left, but when he learns there's a bomb inside, he doesn't hesitate. He rushes in anyway. Inside, Dr. Evil corners the mayor. Rebuild my lab, fund me, protect me, or your city burns. The mayor, terrified, is about to sign. Suddenly, Shoeshine bursts in. In the chaos, Dr. Evil and the mayor both fall. A pocket rips, and glowing blue pills scatter across the floor, and swallows one. Within moments, his strength returns. He's back. Underdog has returned. Dr. Evil snarls and orders his superdogs to attack. Underdog dodges through the town hall, leaping off walls, while the entire building shakes from the fight. Chandeliers crash, crash, but Underdog doesn't stop. He's fighting not just to save the city, but to prove that even the smallest dog can make the biggest difference. Dr. Evil watches in disbelief. Even his super dogs can't defeat Shoeshine. So in one final act of madness, he grabs the remaining blue pills and swallows them all. Within seconds, his body begins to mutate. He's no longer human. He's become a monster. With a deep, terrifying growl, he steps forward. Time to end this, Underdog. And then, the ultimate battle begins. The two clash in midair, crashing through walls. Dr. Evil's super dogs surround Shoeshine from all sides, but Shoeshine stays calm. He looks at them and says, "He's using you, just like he used everyone else." His words hit them hard. The dogs stop, then suddenly turn on Dr. Evil. Furious, Dr. Evil smashes a control panel and activates the bomb planted on the rooftop. 2 minutes until detonation. If it explodes, the serum will spread across the city, turning every human into his mind-controlled servant. Time is running out. Shoeshine darts out of the building, racing to Jack. "Jack, I need my costume." Without hesitation, Jack grabs the red and blue suit and tosses it to him. Shoeshine puts it on, his eyes fierce with determination. He's no longer just a dog, he's Underdog once again. With lightning speed, he flies back into the town hall. He finds Molly and Polly tied up, rips the ropes apart, and sets them free. Meanwhile, inside the hall, the mayor promotes Dan, making him a police officer again. Dan charges in, grabs the antidote, and injects it into Dr. Evil. Within moments, Dr. Evil's powers vanish. Weak, helpless, defeated. The crowd erupts in cheers. The mayor breathes a sigh of relief. Jack looks at his dad and smiles with pride. But it's not over yet. The bomb is still ticking. Shoeshine rushes out to the garden. He digs deep into the ground, throws the bomb inside, and leaps away. Boom! A massive explosion shakes the city. The shockwave sends Underdog flying high into the air, his cape trailing through the smoke like a comet. Then, silence. The people stare in horror. Jack's eyes fill with tears. Everyone believes it's over, that Underdog is gone. But then, a faint sound. Shoeshine slowly opens his eyes. He's alive. The crowd goes wild, cheering, crying, clapping. The city celebrates its true hero. Shoeshine looks up at the sky, gives one last smile, and silently takes off into the clouds, because heroes don't wait for applause. They just do what's right. As for Dr. Evil and Cad, they're right where they belong, behind bars. And Shoeshine, he's back home, living peacefully with Jack and Polly, finally free to just be a dog, and the city's most beloved underdog. And that was the story of Underdog, a small beagle with a big heart, who proved that real heroes don't need powers, just courage and love. If this story made you smile, hit subscribe and join us for